Ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow!
Basil's still in a snit. Well, at any rate, blessed Sunday morning to you. This is Basil BuddhaCat Presents. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter, and chief gopher. And Basil BuddhaCat, the host of the show. What do you mean? All right, Basil said, you're not the chief gopher anymore. Says he's got a new gopher, and that's G-O-F-E-R, not G-O-P-H-E-R. It's, who? Said, said, wouldn't you like to know? Yeah, I would like to know. I would like to know. I mean, apparently he's he had his pick between a choice of every baseball player who just retired at the end of this season. And needless to say, based on his 3,465 hits, about 1,310 runs batted in, I'm guessing about 1,600 runs scored, and his leadership on the field more than anything, says he has actually chosen and wants to announce right here that Derek Cheetah is now Basil's chief gopher. Does that mean he's going to be replacing me as your co-host also? Basil said, said, nah, maybe later. So, we could go back. I mean, we spent a couple, 3 or 4, 10 or 20 brief moments over the last couple of years talking about the fact, and it is a fact, that the Derek, you call him Derek Cheetah, but in fact, his real name is Derek Jeter. Number 2, now retired, shortstop for the New York Yankees, and we went through all his stats, and kudos to his great postseason play, his great regular season play, his consistency, probably amongst other things to be heralded for the fact that in 2012, at the age of 38 years old, he had an incredible year. Maybe his best year, probably close to his best year. Over 200, think about 220 hits. Just an amazing season for someone at the age of 38 in a professional sport. And it's to be lauded. But it's still Derek Jeter, not Derek Cheetah. Okay. Basil rolling his eyes a little bit. And here comes something. He's going to say something, and I know it's going to be something. Okay. Says, that's an awful lot to say. Says he's still a little miffed about the fact that big gigantic white cat pan that arrived on Friday was in fact supposed to be a big super jumbo sized litter box. Not happy about that. Not only that, but apparently they took away the previous refrigerator, and the least they could have done was rig that up into a new super jumbo sized litter pan, and they didn't. And he's pretty miffed about that. Basil, you've got 3 litter boxes downstairs, and besides, that can Bill Murray up too. Bill, hey. Okay. Besides, you're not really here anymore physically. You haven't had a bite to eat in 2.5 years. And look at you, still big, puffy, and and all that. Of course, that was a picture taken while he was still amongst the living. But you don't use the litter pan anymore. I mean, you're only here because you channeled yourself along with your cute little brown and white and black and gray necktie that you like to wear, and your hey. So what is this? Okay, he also has one of our shows from I'm gonna say, well, it's from August of this year. Cat news, book reviews, and it also says Screw Fox News. So he likes that too. He likes to give a little sparkle back to the camera from that. And is this going to be okay? Okay, all right. Screw Fox, quote unquote, news. Here comes cat news. So that's oh my God. Our own little Jeffrey has apparently a wide open skull. That can't be comfortable. And you know what? We really ought to. Okay, we really ought to be using our Scrabble board still, because we used that, of course, when we back when we were taking the letters in President Barack Hussein Obama, rearranging those letters and coming up with all the different places where people claim he was born. We had born in Kamchatka, born in see, we didn't have a Y, so we couldn't do born in Kenya. And look at that. Hold on. Tweety? Yeah? Okay. Now it's on the Inky Dinky phone. But Tweety's telling us that it is in fact well, hold on a second. We're just doing our doing a couple things here. We'll be right with you. Who is it, Tweety? Who is it? Okay, we have Basil BuddhaCat Presents. We have an S missing because we apparently ran out of S's on our Scrabble board, our Scrabble game. And Kristen on camera. Was it somebody in your family, Tweety? Basil, was somebody in your family? I'm telling you, I think yeah, I guess, yeah, Tweety says that's not a bird. Basil says that's a cat. Do you have anybody? Do we conjure up anybody else? Is there somebody you're with in the hereafter that we have a phone call on hold for? Is it? Okay, Basil said, meow, brrr, meow, brrr. Said, never mind. We'll get to the news eventually, but first we have to do our important commercials. Okay, we do our shout outs. We have the Sharkiferous Sharky. We have shout out to all the pigs in the audience, and all the people whom we call pigs, whether they're pigs or not. Okay. Hey, look, Barney's in the audience. We've got Barney, not the big purple dinosaur Barney, but President George W. Bush's dog Barney. We talked about him a little bit on Friday night. We had a quick discussion with he and his interpreter Laura Bush, talking about some an incident, a picture that shows President George W. Bush coming off of the presidential helicopter, and this is in connection to the big hoop-de-doo on Fox about what they dubbed Latte Gate, and we're not sure whether it was latte or chai or some sort of beverage in a cup, and their claim that when President Obama saluted the troops with a cup in his hand, that was somehow an indication that he was born in California or something like that, or Cupnia, or that he was born in Kona, not Kona, Hawaii, obviously, but born somewhere other than and a total disregard for our American troops everywhere. Although, of the folks that we know about Basil and I, and Kristen, we know about 50 veterans, and they give a pretty hearty thumbs up to President Obama for continuing the process of winding down the war in Iraq, at least as far as having military personnel there being killed and seriously wounded. Afghanistan is still going on, but they have an election that it's been certified now in Afghanistan. And well, okay, we'll do a little bit of news, and then we'll do some commercials. Okay. Basil said, says, you're on a roll, Bunky, go ahead. So, Afghanistan, we had an election there, and just like we have happened pretty frequently in America, the guy that finished second screamed and yelled about the election being fixed. And I guess even when President Obama won both times by pretty substantial margins and huge electoral margins, apparently it wasn't enough to quell the hatred and the anger about him being reelected or elected the first time. So in Afghanistan, they have a new president. President Karzai has, dare we give him a salute? We'll try. Gone. Have a new president, and the negotiation ended up between the elected president and the runner-up. Ended up with the runner-up getting a high-level executive position, which is probably not a bad idea. And it sort of harkens back a little bit to the other skinny senator from Illinois who, like our current president, tried very hard to get people in his administration that, in a lot of cases, didn't agree with him on some pretty substantial matters. And in the case of Lincoln actually had some folks in his administration that probably would have just been just as happy seeing President Lincoln dead as seeing him in cabinet meetings. So that was something that American history has taught us, that it's not a bad idea to reach out for the victor, to reach out to the runner-up and reach out and ask them for their opinion on stuff, and consult with them and show a little respect. I mean, during the campaign, they don't show a lot of respect. And in this so far 6-year campaign of President Obama actually being in office, and from day one, the Republican Party deciding that they were going to oppose him on anything that he did, to try to stonewall everything he tried to get passed as legislation. He reached out to them and... Wait, hold on. Basil, is that... You know, we're going to have to take a commercial break, and I'm going to have to make a phone call back. So this has been Basil BuddhaCat Presents. I'm David Stevenson, and we'll be right back with you. The camera will keep on rolling, and we'll edit it later.
Please enter your passcode, then press 1. New message. 5 saved messages. From phone number 86067629119. Received September 30th at 3:19 p.m.
Stay encrypted. I just want to confirm that 213 Middle River came out of escrow. You're free to deposit your check. Any questions? 860-676-9988.
Okay.
Message erased. First 6.
Okay. You know, I guess, we lost a little commercial time, but we'll make up for it. Here you go. We'll do our commercials a little bit quicker. What did we not get last time? Okay. P, airbrushed in. P, A&W root beer. Paw root beer. And we're going to borrow one from Pepsi. Pause for refreshment. And you ask, why not A&W root beer? Well, there's a good reason for that. We added that other letter, that extra letter, into A&W root beer to make P A&W root beer, because it's that extra letter that really amps up the aroma. And what could people not like about yellow tinged root beer? I don't know. So keep that in mind when you do your grocery shopping. It's Basil's favorite root beer. Okay? We need to reintroduce Tootsie Rolls, Basil's favorite candy. And I guess it's been, this melted Tootsie Roll has been sitting here for three and a half months. And if in fact it is a Tootsie Roll, because there's a lot of rumor flying around the studio, I think Tweety and Snarky actually started that rumor, that this actually came out of your litter pan. Basil says, guess amongst other things. Hold on. Hello, this is David.
Hi, David. I'm calling regarding your Home Depot, your GE appliance delivery scheduled for today.
Yes.
Our team is at Chipmunk Terrace, but they're having trouble locating house number 6.
As you come into Chipmunk Terrace, it's up the hill on the left-hand side, middle of the building.
What do you mean middle of the building?
Well, it's a condominium.
Okay, so it's in the middle of the condos on
And
the
there's a
left-hand side?
big white 6 next to our front door.
Okay, so go up the hill and it's on the left.
Yep.
Right in the
Well,
middle.
no, you come into Chipmunk Terrace, you come up the hill, Nature View Trail, right-hand turn into Chipmunk Terrace, and it will be the building, the first building on the left-hand side. Center of the building, number 6, with a big white 6 on the front door, next to the front door.
Okay, and you're there?
Right now, we're here.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Thanks. You know, Basil's in a snit again, because here we go. Basil's in a snit because he thought it was, in fact, a new super deluxe litter box being delivered. And in fact, it's a refrigerator. You know, just hold on a second, because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to, Sunday morning delivery, not too bad. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Well, we can't cancel the show. We just can't do it, Basil. Just because you're flying off the handle about a delivery of something that you didn't want delivered. Besides, we talked about this. You don't use a litter pan anymore. So I guess that's pretty good evidence that this is not yours. So maybe, in fact, it is a Tootsie Roll. That's good to know. So while we're waiting for them to come knock at the door with a new refrigerator, we're going to finish off our, let's see, what do we have here? Schweppes. Schweppervescence. Lemon lime sparkling seltzer water with other natural flavors. I hope it's not the same natural flavor that goes into that P.A.&W root beer to make it a little bit more yellowish. Well, lemon lime is going to look a little bit yellowish. Maybe it would hide a little bit better in here. But since 1783, Schweppes. Schweppervescence. What else do we have? Okay, we've got... we don't have Vaseline anymore, do we? That's not one of our corporate sponsors, is it? I mean, since Ted Nugent buys up 97% of the Vaseline sold in the United States in order to coat his moat around his castle with, he's going to be the one doing all of that. I mean, can we even do this? Can we even advertise a product that's used by Ted Nugent, author of Cat Scratch Fever, a lovely little ditty that's his anthem, so to speak, about his first sexual experience at the age of 10. Basil says, yeah. So talk them up a little bit. Maybe we'll get them back as a sponsor. I mean, they were actually paying us money, good money to man, golly. Okay, so let's finish it up while we wait for the guys to come with the fridge. 8-ball. Okay, albeit a mini 8-ball, it's still an 8-ball, but we know how people like jumbo-sized stuff, even if it's been doctored and altered and all the other stuff. 12-ball, now with 50% more ball. Actually, I'm going to say it's probably about 350% more ball. So that's definitely a well, they probably sell it at Costco. Because, you buy everything in large bulk quantity at Costco, and you'll buy, months and months worth of pickles at one time, and you'll get a nice discount on it. But I guess this is even if you're a big consumer of these things, it's going to last you a while. But they also sell 8-ball. So, good to go. Now, we talked about on Friday night show, we talked about, we're still going through this to-do about whether his name is Derek Cheetah or Derek Jeter. And Basil says he's got actually Derek Jeter's the one that's going to be delivering this appliance. And he's thinking that this appliance delivery is going to turn out to be not a refrigerator, but it's going to be a super jumbo size cat pan. And we're running out of time a little bit here, so just says finish up with the commercials. We'll work the delivery into our next show probably. Okay, and before we go any further, screw Fox News. Here comes Cat News. And you want to do a little, we've got it's a toss-up between Cinco de whatever, because we've got a tequila sponsor that wants us to promote Cinco de Octubre and Cinco de Novembre and Cinco de Diciembre. So, hey, any month where it's got a Cinco in it is a time for tequila. And speaking of football season, this is one we're shooting for, a new corporate sponsor. Do we have time for this? Barely. Says, we have a shot at Anheuser-Busch because Anheuser-Busch decided that they don't want their product, which is guaranteed to cause bar fights, stabbings, and other miscellaneous mayhem. They don't want that to be promoted on a telecast showing grown men beating the crap out of each other, then going home and yanking their wives' hair and slapping them, and taking a switch to their kids. They think that's a little too close for comfort. So we're thinking we might get Anheuser-Busch and be able to. Could we be giving the NFL the big boot? Let's try. Oh, the producer, Kristen Schoenfeld. Ready? Here it comes. All right. Which side came up? The top side or the bottom side?
I like this.
Okay. That says maybe. We might be getting them as a sponsor. And with that, this has been Basil BuddhaCat Presents. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter and chief gopher. And
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, Meow.